Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of sports here on the HY3 cast. Let's go right into it. So, once again, starting off with the NBA. Now, it's the offseason, but I like to cover the NBA a lot. So, anyway, the NBA draft happened a while ago. I know it's been a minute. I was out of town and stuff like that. But, anyway, the biggest winners and losers in the draft, I'd say the winners are the Spurs, the Heat, the Pacers, and potentially the Jazz. The reason I say this, Spurs, they got Dylan Harper. They have Carter Bryant. Two really good picks there. I know it's two lottery picks, so of course they're most likely going to win, but good selections for them. The Heat getting Jonas at 20. That was a good pick. With Halliburton hurt, the Pacers needed somebody who could win for them. Cam Jones could be a good pick for them there. The Jazz, they selected Ace Bailey with their number 5 pick, which, he clearly stated he didn't want to play there, but they picked him anyway. So, an interesting decision there by the Jazz. We'll see how that works out there in Utah. Will he be a bust for the Jazz? Depends on how his attitude is, on how his game translates. It's gonna be interesting to watch there. But also, they picked Walter Clayton Jr. and John Tonje, two older guards, but they're both good in college. So. We'll see how those guys translate to the game and how Ace Bailey and all that situation in Utah. It's gonna be interesting to watch. Pelicans, did they give up too much for Derek Queen? That'll be something interesting to think about. They did get Jeremiah Fears, but they did trade up for Queen, so it could be a bust for them. But Queen looks like a really good prospect, so I'm not too sure about that. And lastly, how will Flag fit in Dallas? That's something to keep in mind. He obviously they're gonna pick him in the one pick and stuff like that, but will he be a good fit for them? I think he will. He kind of needed like a small forward type guy. That's what he is. So they got fortunate for sure. There's just some free agency and trade news. Just keep trying to keep y'all updated on that. Of course, the big trade is Kevin Durant to the Rockets. Along that. They sent Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks to the Suns. The Suns have good players. Like Rasheer Fleming, I think he's a really good prospect. They got Mark Williams and Kaman Malawach. So they got rim protection with those three, and then they got some good guards and stuff. Can they put it all together? I doubt it, but we'll see. The Suns are going to be could be a fun team to watch next year. Naz Reid, Julius Randle turned to the Timberwolves, looking like they might not be able to keep both of them. They do. Rockets locking in their players. They're going for the chip right now, man. They got Kevin Durant now, Fred VanVleet, and Jabari Smith with a 5-year, $122 million deal. That is dealing out some cash right there. And there's just some smaller trades here. These are in reverse order, so. I think the first one happened most recently. Colin Sexton to the Hornets. That's going to be something interesting to see there. A little more experience there for the Hornets. Nurkic to the Jazz with that trade. Lonzo Ball to the Cavs and Isaac Okoro to the Bulls. Will Lonzo Ball be healthy enough to play for the Cavs? If so, that's a good addition. That's a good addition to a championship level team right there. That's impressive. And of course, Porzingis to the Hawks. We'll see how that works out there. CJ to the Wizards and Jordan Poole to the Pelicans. CJ McCollum, older guard, trying to give the Wizards, maybe mentor some of those young Wizards guards. Could be something to watch out for in the future there. And Jordan Poole to the Pelicans. Not too sure about that since they just drafted Jeremiah Fears too. It's going to be interesting to see down in New Orleans. Drew Holiday to the Blazers, of course. And Simon to the Celtics along with that trade. And then lastly, Desmond Bane to the Magic. Could the Magic be top 3 in the East next year? I think so, especially with Celtics and Pacers injuries. So something to keep in mind there with the NBA. And then lastly already, the sports out of season. We're going to have some conference realignment talk with remotely, so go ahead and take that away.
Let's talk about conference realignment real quick. Starting with the 2025 season, Missouri State and Delaware will join FBS in 2025 as Conference USA members, and UMass will go back to the Mid-American Conference in 2025. Moving on, University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and New Haven will join FCS football in 2025, and Richmond will join the Patriot League in the same year. Moving on to 2026, UTEP and NIU will join the Mountain West. Boise State, Colorado State, San Diego State, Fresno State, Texas State, and Utah State will join the Pac-12 in 2026. Sadly, St. Francis is moving on to Division III due to funding issues in 2026. Villanova and William & Mary will join the Patriot League in 2026. Chicago State will join FCS football in 2026. And finally, Sacramento State was declined its FBS waiver, so it will be an independent in 2026. Let me know if I forgot anything, and if you want to join a college sports talk server, the link is in Hydra's description. Thank you very much.
Thank you remotely for the insight there. A lot of crazy stuff happening with college realignment, and it will continue to happen. So I'll try to keep you guys as posted as I can. I'm very busy, but I love doing this. So will we see any upsets with the new playoff format? I am not sure. I think it's the just 12 teams, right? There's no automatic there's no top 4 teams anymore, stuff like that. So the better teams are going to be playing at home still, so something to watch there. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. You're pretty much guaranteed to get the best 4 players now, though. Best 4 teams in the Final Four. So we'll see. We'll see if it works out, though. On paper, it looks good. We're kind of the period right now where I call the United States sports offseason, which is basically from as soon as the NBA is over to college football starting. Now the MLB is going on right now, and I'll talk about that in the next episode, or somebody else might. But really, the only sport going on now is MLB. The only major sport going on now is the MLB. So kind of the United States sports off season. We will have the NFL and college basketball along with the MLB in the next episode. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. You want to join remote Discord server? Link is in the description below. The first link. It's rapidly growing. It's a pretty really active community. So if you guys love sports and talking about sports, that's the server for you. If you want to have a Hydra Fantasy League for football or basketball, anything like that, let me know below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.